Good evening, everybody. This meeting was called for Monday, September 18th, 2023 at 7:30 p.m. at Borough Hall located at 77 Summit Hill Road, Spotswood, New Jersey, pursuant to the provisions of the New Jersey Open Public Meetings Act, NJSA 10-4-8B. The public may choose to attend this meeting electronically via Google Meet. This meeting was advertised on the Spotswood website and in the Home News Tribune.
Councilman Kramer?
Here.
Councilman Wronko?
Here.
Councilwoman Schwartz is absent right now. Councilman Savarni?
Here.
Council President Legakis?
Here.
And Mayor Palmer is absent.
All right. We'll start off with the engineer.
Thank you, Council President. Good evening, all. On behalf of the Borough Engineer's Office, I submit tonight's report. For item number one, the 2023 capital improvements. The bid opening project took place on September 13th. We have recommended award to S&G Paving. Once awarded, we will move forward with scheduling a pre-construction meeting. And for items 2 through 5, there is no current update.
Thank you. Any council members have any questions?
I have a question. I have a question on 4 items, and actually none of them are on the report tonight.
Sure.
2 of them, can you just address the elephant in the room about the turf field and the dog park?
Sure. So I spoke with the mayor and she asked for this report to pull them off as she was going to review those projects with the administration to see what the next steps will be.
Okay. Thank you. And I guess if there is not a question or a comment, thank you and the police department for meeting with me today about Victoria Avenue. Victoria Avenue is across from the warehouse. It's the Dora Avenue, Sydney Avenue area. Victoria runs parallel to Main Street, and one of the entrances being removed. So I met with the engineers today and police to discuss how we are going to reconfigure that. And in short, the plan is a T intersection. So if anybody has any questions, I don't think there's any of my neighbors here, but you can reach out to somebody up here and we could talk about that with you. And the other item that's not on here, we also talked about today, update Main Street sidewalks, where that's at now?
Sure. So the county provided us with a maintenance agreement. We forwarded it to the mayor and BA for their review to see if there's something they want to move forward with. The county will not provide any funding for it. They typically don't, and they strictly usually take responsibility for edge of pavement to edge of pavement. So there is a maintenance agreement they require, though, when any work is done on a county road.
Okay, thanks.
Any other questions?
I can just add from the administrator's office that for the sidewalks, we were waiting to get the bids back. You will see a resolution approving the 2023 roads program, which did finish under budget. So now we just need to work with Center State to see what extra soft costs and things like that would entail. So I get a final budget number, and then we can have budget talks on, can we use this for sidewalks? How much way that we can do it since the county's not going to use the sidewalk. I think you might be able to do CDBG if it fits in certain criteria in the downtown, but there's really not that much money left there either. So I would think it would need to be a capital item.
Are we allowed to, do we need approval from the county to put the sidewalks in?
So the county would have to review the plans, and they may have some comments and whatnot. The first key of the whole thing would be to have it surveyed to determine if there is right of way available for sidewalk installation along the properties in front, because property lines can vary. So we'd have to purchase right of way or easements from various properties potentially. So a survey would have to be done initially to dictate everything.
Yeah, you're set up. Yeah.
Right.
Thank you.
Yes. Would it be possible to add ADA grants when the sidewalks are put in? I'm going on a win in order to assist with it, because those sections would need ADA, any cross areas.
So we would have to follow ADA restrictions, but or guidelines, but there really isn't many grants out there for that. Safe Routes to Schools is a state program. but that period I think is already passed for this year. We put it for next year, but I would say last year, how many?
It's a very conservative grant.
Yeah, I don't think we would fit in how small we are.
The only thing I could say to that is that being a walking district majority, maybe we have a little room to argue that point to them.
You would think that the state in its wisdom is not.
Understood, thank you.
Thank you.
We have resolutions under consent agenda. 2023-130 bill list, 2023-131 authorizing payment application number 6 for Daniel Road Water Treatment Plan improvements in the borough of Spotswood. 2023-132 resolution to authorize the insertion of a special item of revenue in the 2023 budget of the borough of Spotswood pursuant to NJSA 40A:4-87 body armor. 2023-133 resolution requesting release of planning/zoning escrow for freestanding sign block 91 lot 2 to Spotswood Loman. 2023-134 resolution requesting release of road opening escrow for 38 Copac Way, Spotswood, New Jersey, block 100, lot 1.2 to Red Oak Developers Acquisition and Development. 2023-131 resolution authorizing the purchase of vehicle upfitting, from Major Police Supply for the Department of Police. 2023-136 resolution to authorize the insertion of a special item of revenue in the 2023 budget of the borough of Spotswood pursuant to NJSA 40A:4-87 recycling tonnage grant. 2023-137 resolution to authorize the insertion of a special item of revenue in the 2023 budget of the borough of Spotswood pursuant to NJSA 40A:4-87 alcohol education rehab. 2020 appointing school crossing guards for the 2023-2024 school year. 2023-139 resolution to authorize the insertion of special item of revenue in the 2023 budget of the borough of Spotswood pursuant to NJSA 40A:4-87 physical activity. 2023-140 a resolution authorizing the purchase of electricity supply services for public use on an online auction website. 2023-141 resolution to accept the received bid award contract to work on the project known as 2023 roadway improvements.
Thank you.
Make a motion to open up to the public comment on the caucus agenda only.
Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
The public comment portion of the Spotswood Borough Council meetings to allow the public to bring to council's attention their concerns or comments in accordance with NJSA 10-4-12A, as well as Spotswood Borough Ordinances 218 and 219, except upon consent of the council president. Each person addressing the council in the case of a resolution shall limit their remarks to 3 minutes, and in the case of an ordinance shall limit their remarks to 5 minutes total for the meeting. No person shall direct any remarks or questions to any specific council member except by permission of the council president. Any council member through the council president may choose to answer a question, but they are not obligated to do so. All persons wishing to address the council shall do so from the podium or other location specified by the council president. Each person addressing the council must identify themselves by name and address. If said person is representing a business or organization, they shall further state whether their comments are their personal view or those of the group they represent. So at this time, if anybody has any questions about the resolutions, please come on up to the podium.
Diane Charlesworth, 29 Oak Stage Road. On the bill list, I noticed that there's several entries for our water from East Brunswick totaling $568,160.82. That bring us current with them?
Till August.
till just
Yes, August is the last.
through August?
Through August.
Okay.
Yep.
So they haven't sent a bill for September yet?
No. We
Okay,
won't get that probably till the first.
okay, but we're current.
Yes.
Good job. Okay, secondly, on the first page, there's a shared service with the Township of East Brunswick for $1,870. What's that for? It's on the first page, from 5/18/23. That's my wedding anniversary.
Brenda, do you have that one?
Yeah, that's what I had. Looks like it is for communications. East Brunswick Fire Communications Shared Service Agreement for June, July, August, September. And it looks like that's the one that's being paid here is just for 1 month.
Okay, so it's only for,
So this PO has multiple invoices on it.
Okay.
It looks like they're just paying no, it's for September. August was paid last meeting, this is for September.
okay. There's two bills that were paid to Hatfield Schwartz, one for $27,651, and the other one was for $6,084. What legal services did they render?
I checked on that earlier, with Jenny. A majority of it was the Oprah, what we hired them to do to help us catch up with Oprah requests.
Okay. And lastly, there were two bills paid to our JIF insurance. What do those cover?
They were the bond. So at the last meeting, I had alerted everyone that the first two bills were just charged to the general fund and that was not split out to the utility fund. This is covering us for the rest of the year.
Okay, so we're all paid up with
Yeah,
them.
they're.
If they send us another bill,
Typically there's only two bills that I've seen in other towns, but apparently the statewide JIF gives you 4 bills.
okay, thank you.
The fourth
Thank
bill
you.
probably didn't have to be paid until the start of.
It's better paid in advance.
We decided to put it on.
Thanks. Thank you, Ms. Chilton.
Good evening, Chuck Hager, 65 Herman Drive. Question on 2023-140, the private electric purchase. Do we have an estimate of the savings that the borough will obtain by entering into this private bidding for electric?
So we've been in this consortium, I guess, for several years now. This is the redo of, and it's for public utilities, street lighting, and all municipal services, not through the town. There's, the state law allows you to do a consortium for the town and then a consortium for public utilities. This is just for public utilities. Your contract came, it will be done, I believe, in a month's time. And the vendor called us and asked us if we wanted to continue with the program. I have to pull up, I don't have it with me right now. I'd have to pull up the savings that we have. But by law, that you're specifically required to have savings. You cannot do this purchase plan unless there is an annual net savings. If you don't end up having savings, the law actually reverts you back to your current PGM supplier.
That's what I wanted to do. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Rich O'Brien, 11 Hudson Avenue. Good evening, everyone. I had two questions about the Daniel Road water treatment plant. Is there a timeline to bring the plant back online?
So we were out there on Thursday, I believe, to meet they had an electrical contractor coming out to finalize a bunch of those items for getting the plant online. We do believe that we should be probably about 2 weeks away now that all those tests were done. This is final payment that we're seeing on the bill list or on the agenda and bill list tonight. The next phase, so we were able to look at the budget and see all the items that the borough did prior to me arriving was fix the utilities that are above ground. So filtration, pump, not the well pump, but pumping to pump it out to the system, and electrical and a couple other osmosis filtration systems that were put in. The well is good, but we should probably, if we have everything above ground done, we should probably have the utility that pulls the water, have that done as well. You will see them go out to bid. I think Jenny can talk to them today about being advertising next Tuesday in the hopes to award a contractor by the next meeting. We can go online with the current well, but again, we would like to be at 100%. Where's under the current capital, I believe there's 500,000 that was budgeted a year ago for the well, and then we finished Daniel Road, the main capital ordinance. I think we finished it under 200,000. So we should be well under that, but that's pretty much where we're at. My hope is to try and go online middle of October. I want to run dual with East Brunswick and us to make sure that we're not running into any problems. Because the biggest point will be filling the standpipe over by the DPW yard, making sure that the system can hold it and keep the pressurized there. So.
And the other question was, so is there an analysis of how much it will reduce the amount of water we're pulling from East Brunswick?
So my understanding from the engineers is that we should go completely on our own at that point. But at this point, I don't know if I want to stretch the system that way because of the fact that we know that the pump is not completely 100% because it's older. Once we go online completely, I think that we could try and do that. But we also need to look at the allocation that we received from Schweitzer. You can pull, it's fully from the state aquifer. I would rather have another well system put in place somewhere else in town that would be able to have a redundant system, but we haven't gotten to that point yet. There will be future meetings that we need to have.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Good evening. Hope everyone's well. Name is Edward J. Smith. I live at 395 All Stage Road in Spotswood. And my question deals strictly with the bill list where it has various items that just say professional services rendered. Can we clarify that? We have all kinds of monies going out to the engineer, the attorney, the different people. I'm not disputing any of them, but we all know they're professionals. Okay, maybe explain what project it's for or whatever it may be, so we have a better understanding in the future. Okay.
I believe we spoke about that.
Again, it's I think the loss in translation between the report that you're getting, as I showed you before, I want you to get it by vendor ID, and more things. The reason why it says professional services is because anytime that it says professional service, it's someone that was approved by RQ at the reorg meeting. So these are professionals that we already RFP'd out.
No,
and
right, but I'm sure there's like $40,000 just in the top half of page 2 for Center State Engineering, and I'm not disputing what they're billing for, but I'm sure that has to be multiple projects.
It is.
And why can't we just know what those projects are? That's all. It's purely clarification and being very open to the taxpayers of the town.
So at the last meeting, I did provide vendor ID because we saw how big the list is. I haven't gotten that direction on how, because you could have this, because it will serve as a resolution. And then you would just have to give me direction. You want a secondary bill list by vendor ID that be provided out, or do you just want a resolution?
Yeah, so we do look at a lot of this information to double check and make sure what it is that we're putting out there in the interest of not overly, creating a lot of paper and whatnot for for the meeting. We simplify it, but maybe we can list it on the website so that people can see it, but then with this.
I have no problem. I just need to have some direction on where you want to post it, how you want to post it. But it will always come up professional services if it's a contractor that you hired every year, because then they don't come under the pay play or the QPA numbers that $6,000 for quoting, $44,000 for bid threshold.
Would it help if we list it online, but then just have this for the meeting, or is that, I'm just trying to.
I'm just looking at these, and if you add them all up, there's some pretty big numbers.
No, it is.
You know,
It's
and
just-
that's the only thing I'm asking for.
What Brandon is saying, though, is it's going to be a lengthy list
Okay.
of
No, all
information.
right, no, that's
Also,
fine.
Can you print out one and just leave it?
I'm sorry.
Can you print out just one and leave it?
Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, okay.
Thank you.
Sure, right.
And then Senator Stater's going to see more. They didn't get it in time for last week. That's why.
Like I said, I'm not disputing
No, no, no.
the bill. I'm just
Understood.
looking for clarification.
Thank you.
Collene Wronko now. All right. I have a question. You said, Council President, that the bill list, the Hatfield and Schwartzwoods for catching up on the Oprah.
Yes.
So are we currently up to date on the Oprah?
Are we? I'm not sure where we're at currently, but that was part of us bringing in extra help because of the large amount of over requests that we had.
Okay, because I still have,
For legal.
I'm sorry?
Their main job was legal review. So once the information was provided to the clerk, since the clerk is unlicensed, the vendor could then review it. Because I think it was brought up to me before I got here, apparently there was a review or release of people's social security numbers and everything else. So everything has to have legal review before it goes up.
So I'm not sure, where are we currently with Oprah?
For the most part, we are current. There are some that are still outstanding that we're waiting on.
so I have 17 Oprah requests outstanding going back to March. My husband has already sued once in the last 60 days, which I don't know if you guys are aware of or not. That lawsuit was settled after the attorney refused to give us the video that we were asking for in the body worn camera. We've asked for additional body worn camera footage, and we're getting 16 different excuses as to why we cannot have it. So there's going to be 2 more Oprah lawsuits coming your way. Now we can keep playing this game. I can keep suing. Vicky can keep rejecting our crap. She can lose in court. We can get the video, or we can just fix this one. Excuse me, I'm talking.
I can speak about it.
No, I don't care. Listen, leave it to yourself. I don't care what you've got to say, Brandon. Okay, I'm talking. Then shut up.
Please address me.
I'm trying to. So what I want to know is why we have to keep suing to get things that we are entitled to by law. Because I've got 17 outstanding Oprah requests going back to March. So we're obviously not caught up. And it's not Jenny's fault because this goes way back before her. But I can't get Oprah requests and neither can my husband. So you've got 2 more Oprah requests lawsuits coming your way. I'd like to settle this at some point.
I'll look into that. Thank you. Any other questions? Make a motion to close the public portion. Seconded.
All in favor?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. This meeting was called for Monday, September 18th, 2023 at 7:30 PM at Borough Hall located at 77 Summit Hill Road, Spotswood, New Jersey, pursuant to the provisions of the New Jersey Open Public Meetings Act, NJSA 10-4-8B. The public may choose to attend this meeting electronically via Google Meet. This meeting was advertised on the Spotswood website and in the Home News Tribune.
Councilman Kramer?
Here.
Councilman Lesko?
Here.
Councilman Zaborni?
Here.
Council President Legakis?
Here.
Mayor Palmer and Councilwoman Schwartz are absent currently.
Thank you. At this time, I ask everybody to please rise to salute the flag. And then to observe a moment of silence. This is the first time we're meeting since 9/11, in observance of 9/11, and also at the request of Ms. Charlesworth, in keeping Raymond Remus. Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag. Thank you.
We do have quite a few sets of minutes for approval. We have May 1st, both caucus and regular, May 15th, both caucus and regular, June 12th, both caucus and regular, July 17th, both caucus and regular, and August 15th, both caucus and regular. I'll take a motion to.
Can we move them all at once?
Mhm.
I'll make a motion to pass 5 sets of caucus and regular meeting minutes, May 1st, May 15th, June 12th, July 17th, and August 15th.
Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
Council President, council members, I'll take a motion to accept resolutions on the consent agenda. Resolutions 2023-130 through 2023-141.
I'll make a motion to pass resolutions 2023-130 through 141.
Second.
Councilman Kramer?
Yes.
Councilman Lesko?
Yes.
Councilwoman Schwartz? I believe she's on the Councilman
Timmy Shiano.
Zaborni?
She is, yes. Then you should amend it to present 5. I mean, she's participating in the.
Yes, she just sent a message at 7:50.
She has to voice it.
She has to
She can't send it by text. So she would have to unmute herself and then, so. if
Now,
you
when we work with you,
by
unmute yourself.
minutes,
Reports from the liaisons. We'll start with Councilman Kramer.
Unfortunately, I don't have anything this week. My company is closing and I spent the last 3 weeks packing things up till late in the night and shipping it out. So, I spoke to, I spoke to him and, I let him know that I would get together with him this week. Now I'm retired. I got plenty of time.
Thank you. Councilman Lesko?
Yeah, I actually have Councilwoman Schwartz's report here. So Dawn wrote that the Spotswood 5K went well. We were blessed with new sponsorships this year, and we thank everybody who worked out, and we look forward to next fall. Oktoberfest is September 29th at 5:30. There'll be food trucks, music, crafts, beer, and most exciting of all, a drone show. sponsored by Center State Engineering. October 15th is our annual mayor and council breakfast at 9 a.m. to noon. This is a fundraiser for Alice's Cup Pantry. Online ticket sales are currently available, and information on how to buy a ticket is posted on Facebook and at the Borough Hall. Come have breakfast, speak to your town administration, and raise some funds for the local food bank. Finally, the fall yard sale is November 4th and 5th. Registration info is available on Facebook and on the Borough website. And then for my report, Spotswood 5K, as Dawn mentioned, was a couple weeks ago. I was able to run it and see how well it was managed this year. We had the CERT team as well as the police department on the route, making sure we were safe, and every intersection was covered this year. It was a good time, so thank you, of course, to police, CERT, REC, and our sponsors. Secondly, we had our 9/11 commemoration a week ago in town. We were lucky the rain held out. It was a nice event, as always. And after that, I actually went up to Liberty State Park, and I got to, with a couple friends, I saw the Twin Tower beam lights and the New York City skyline. So it was surreal to get to see that from New Jersey. Third, as Dawn mentioned, Oktoberfest is in a couple weeks. I will see you all there. Then a few days before that, the school board is having an election. If you need more info on that, go speak to them. But thank you to the clerk's office, who will be managing that for the school district. And finally, as Dawn also mentioned, we have the mayor and council breakfast on October 15th. And that's become one of my favorite events. It'll be my third time. And I'm looking forward to doing it with this group and hope to see you all.
What place did you come in from, Lawrence?
I don't remember. I'll have to get that info.
Council disappointing.
Hey, I did it for fun.
As long as it didn't get dark, right?
First on council.
Congrats. So, good to be here tonight. It's good to see everybody. So for Councilwoman Schwartz, sent me a report on Office on Aging. September 27th, they're hosting their art show, 12 to 3 p.m. There's also a new exercise class of silver sneakers, a bit more tense than the other classes, but it's certainly going to be enjoyable just as well. The class is Monday and Thursdays from 9:30 a.m. to 10:20 a.m. Medicare open enrollment presentation will be new for 2024, and that's on Wednesday, October 4th. That's Wednesday, October 4th at 1:15 p.m. The Friends General Meeting and Chinese Luncheon will be Wednesday, October 11th, starting at 10 a.m. Friends Oktoberfest birthday party is Wednesday, October 18th, starting at 12 p.m. And Barb Cottrell's game day is Thursday, October 26th at 1 p.m. So that's what's happening with Mrs. Councilwoman Schwartz's report that was
On
sent.
Thursday, one,
What's
the time has that time?
We'll let her know.
That's on Wednesday.
Okay, that was sent, so once she gets here, we'll talk about it. Yes. Very good, thank you. So for my report, as always, I enjoyed promoting the shop at St. Peter's. Please check them out right on Main Street there. Youth Council, I believe it's on a pause at this time. More information will be forthcoming. Board of Ed meeting was this past Tuesday. The main discussion was the referendum coming up on September 26th. But as we all know, the schools are open and they're in full swing. You can check out more information at their website, www.spsd.us. Speaking of website, you can check out the borough's new website. Please be patient. It's certainly a work in progress, and a lot of things are looking really great on the website. I've been contacted. I've been reaching out to Tim Cahill's been really great with communication on that, updating the website as it goes. Culture and Heritage will meet on September 21, Thursday at 7 p.m. at the VFW. And congrats to everybody involved with the 5K and everyone who organized it. Thank you. And we hope to see everyone at Oktoberfest. And don't forget the Immaculate Carnival is coming back just as well at the end of the month. here in our town. So as I always say, it's good to be Spotswood. A lot of good things happen into our fall months. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Dvorak.
I forgot one thing. A resident provided us I guess Monroe has a local, or a township newspaper. There's a nice write-up about what, our engineers in Helmetta and Monroe did to clean up Manalapan Brook over the summer. Sounds like the residents nearby were happy with it. And it's a nice little write-up if anybody wants to take a look after the meeting. So, good job. Thank you.
Thank you. Brandon, do you have anything on behalf of the mayor?
The mayor's report is congratulations to Spotswood Fire Department on a successful 125th anniversary celebration. It was wonderful to come out and it was a beautiful day. Great job by the Recreation Department for a successful annual 5K run. As always, our sponsors and our volunteers make the event awesome. Thank you for all participating and donating your time. Senior Center again hosted the mayor for Pizza with Palmer. Thank you to Miriam and her staff for always inviting the mayor, and she enjoyed spending time with the residents and answering their questions. Welcome back to school to our Spotswood students, Mayor and I had the honor of joining our annual Morning with the Mayors at the schools this past Thursday and Friday, hosted by the PTA. The students are always excited and bring great energy when we spend time with them. Thanks to the PTA and to the principals at the two schools for setting up and welcoming them to the school. Oktoberfest will celebrate our emergency services and is scheduled for Friday, September 29th, beginning at 5:30 with food trucks, entertainment and music. And the night will end with a drone light show sponsored by Center State Engineering. Thank for our community partners and for all that they do to support our events.
Thank you, Brandon. I too want to just echo congratulations to the fire department for the 125th anniversary celebration. It was a great time for anybody that attended. I also want to congratulate the graduates of the CERT program. Some of you are in the room tonight, and also Councilman Lesko and Councilwoman Schwartz who are a part of it as well. And thank you to OEM and Brian and Jose for their work in putting that together. I also want to just give a shout out to Jose as well and OEM. For anybody who was not aware, this past Thursday, Spotswood High School played a night football game at the high school, and they had lights that were donated by OEM so that they could play the game, and it was definitely a great time, very school spirited, and a great night. So obviously something that we might be able to look forward to in the future, depending on what happens with the referendum. And Spotswood won, which is a great thing. And congratulations to all the Spotswood teams right now that are playing very well. The football team, the soccer teams, and the cross country as well. So congratulations to our local high school. All right, we have two proclamations to be read tonight. We'll start off with the prostate cancer awareness month.
Whereas this year, approximately 288,300 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer in the United States alone. One man every 2 minutes, and roughly 34,700 will die this year from the disease. 3,500 more than 2020, which is one man every 15 minutes. And whereas in New Jersey, an estimated 9,460 new cases of prostate cancer will be diagnosed, and an estimated 730 deaths will occur in 2023. And whereas men with relatives, father, brother, son, with a history of prostate cancer are twice as likely to develop the disease. And whereas prostate cancer is the most commonly diagnosed cancer in American men, and the third leading cause of cancer death behind lung and colon cancer. And whereas 1 in 8 men are diagnosed with prostate cancer in their lifetime, and 1 in 6 African American men will develop prostate cancer in their lifetime. Overall, African American men are 1.7 times more likely to be diagnosed with and 2.1 times more likely to die from prostate cancer than white men. And whereas veterans who are exposed to herbicides like Agent Orange are at increased risk for developing prostate cancer and are more likely to have an aggressive form of the disease. And whereas education regarding prostate cancer and early detection strategies is critical to saving lives, preserving and protecting our families, as well as the economic and social burden of prostate cancer is huge on families. And whereas, if caught early, prostate cancer has a 5-year survival rate of nearly 100%. However, for late-stage prostate cancer, 5-year survival rate is 31%. And whereas many more men will be diagnosed in 2023 at a later stage because of delayed screening and treatment due to COVID-19, and whereas all men are at risk for prostate cancer, and we encourage the citizens of Spotswood to increase importance of prostate awareness and screenings. Now therefore be it resolved, I, Jackie Palmer, do hereby proclaim the month of September 2023 be Prostate Cancer Awareness Month in the Borough of Spotswood.
Thank you. And we also have a proclamation to be read by Councilman Zaboni regarding suicide awareness.
Whereas suicide is a national, statewide public mental health problem which occurs among all age groups and across all socioeconomical, racial, and ethnic backgrounds, is the 12th leading cause of death in the United States and the 2nd leading cause of death among individuals between the ages of 20 to 34. And whereas in the United States, over 45,000 people die by suicide each year, and several thousand friends and family members are changed forever by losing those people. And whereas the stigma associated with mental illness and suicidality work against suicide prevention by discouraging persons at risk for suicide from seeking life-saving help and further traumatizes survivors of suicide. And whereas suicide is preventable and it is appropriate for a month to be set aside each year to dedicate our thoughts to improving the mental health of all Spotswood residents and raising awareness about suicide. Now therefore, I, Jackie Palmer, Mayor, on behalf of the Borough Council, do hereby proclaim the month of September in the Borough as National Suicide Prevention Month.
Thank you. Okay, I'd like to make a motion to open to the public.
Motion to open to the public.
Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye. At this time, you can come up and talk about anything.
I'm happy camper. Lorraine Sardone, 7 Reader Road. I would like to thank all of you and everyone that was involved in the cleanup of Manalapan Brook. With all the rain we've had, we would have all been underwater, but thank God we're dry. So thank you, everyone. We really appreciate it. Good job. Thanks.
Thank you for coming out to let us know. Go ahead.
Dawn Crandall, can you unmute yourself? Holly Cox, can you unmute yourself, please?
Yes, hello.
Hello.
Hi, my name is Holly Cox. I'm a 25-year New Jersey resident. I'm here because fossil fuel-induced climate change is affecting us all. I know Council President Lagakis had said you are, quote, monitoring the situation regarding whether to pass the resolution against the new CPV frac gas plant in Woodbridge, so I wanted to update you with extreme weather events that have been happening lately. These are becoming more common thanks to the burning of fossil fuels, and these events are affecting every corner of the world. If you think you're isolated from climate events in Spotswood, actually we are all only one extreme climate event away from being displaced from our homes. Yesterday, 75,000 people marched in New York City to end fossil fuels, and the march was full of young people asking for a habitable planet and future. My own daughter told me she doesn't want to have kids of her own because, as she put it, quote, we're living on a dying planet. I'm here to try to make you aware of the danger that more fossil fuel infrastructure in the form of a massive new frac gas power plant in Woodbridge brings to your residents' health and to everyone's health, because if built along with its sister plant, it will be one of the largest polluters in the state of New Jersey. On July 27th, UN Secretary General declared, quote, the era of global warming has ended. The era of global boiling has arrived. July 2023 was the hottest month on Earth, quote, ever recorded in human history. The extreme heat is the harsh reality of climate change and because of burning fossil fuels. Also, July 2023 saw 1.6 million people, inhabitants of Phoenix, Arizona, endure temps of over 109 degrees for a month. It wasn't safe for pets to walk on the asphalt, which heated to 150 degrees, and humans who tripped and fell on the asphalt suffered third-degree burns. August 2023 saw hot tub temperatures of 100.4 degrees off the coast of Florida. These temps are causing massive coral bleaching and sea life death. Burning fossil fuels is causing this, and we must all do our part to stop it. August 2023 also see Lahaina almost wiped off the map in Hawaii from a forest fire exacerbated by climate conditions of drought and hurricane-force winds. And we all remember June 2023 when our skies and lungs were choked with wildfire smoke or particulate matter from Canada. So far this year, Canadian wildfires have burned almost 34 million acres, not to mention the billions of wildlife, animals, and birds we've lost in these fires. Burning fossil fuels, like will occur at the new Woodbridge gas plant less than 8 miles from Spotswood, is causing all this destruction. I'm here as a fellow New Jerseyan who want the same thing as you, clean air and a habitable planet. We see all these things we love slipping away, so I'm here to urge you as leaders to please take action to protect yourselves and your citizens. I can think of no more pressing issue before you tonight than putting the resolution against the Woodbridge power plant on your agenda and passing it, because polluted air and greenhouse gas emissions affect all of us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Dance 113, can you please unmute yourself?
Yes, I don't know why I'm not showing my face here. Let me see. Sorry, it should be showing here. Where's this?
It's okay. We can't see you
Yeah, I'm
anyway.
sorry. For some reason it's not. I don't know why you can hear me. Then. Okay, thank you. I don't know why the
Okay.
video. Okay, I'm just going to make it quickly. As I'm also here tonight again to encourage the Spotswood Council to add the resolution opposing the CPV's methane power plant expansion in Casby, Woodbridge Township onto your agenda. Yes, I was here before. I just wanted to highlight just one brief, very quick story just concerning yesterday. 75,000 people gathered in New York City, and one particular story caught my attention. 8-year-old child, Athena, from Boca Raton, Florida, traveled up here to New York City with her mother to participate in the march. And when they asked her why they both came to the march, she said, because we care about the planet, and I really want the earth to feel better. From the mouth of children, of course. She realized the urgency of moving off fossil fuels now. So again, I'm going to say, I know you said it, you're going to monitor the situation and make a decision according to when the time is right. The time is right now. Spotswood, you're so close. We're close neighbors. As Holly has said, you're less than 15 miles away from us. And already 15 other municipalities, your neighbors, have recognized the urgency, the disastrous consequences of this power plant. And they've moved ahead, and they've not only had the resolution on their agenda, they have voted to oppose this terrible, terrible, disastrous plant. We really need your support. The more towns we have, our governor will look at this and say, he has the power to stop this, and it must be stopped. Because obviously, we're really at a point where, as this little girl saw it, we're at a climate destruction. Fossil fuels equal climate destruction. That's all I like to say. I'd like to thank you again for listening, and for hopefully you will have this on next month's agenda. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Water Spirit, please unmute yourself.
Yes, thank you so much. My name is Rachel Dawn Davis. I direct policy for Water Spirit, which is located at 4 East River Road in Rumson, New Jersey. I believe I've also spoken here before, but a couple months ago. Sorry, I'm just not feeling super hot. But Water Spirit is a spiritual ecology center sponsored by the Sisters of St. Joseph of Peace. I'm working to hear the cry of the earth and the cry of the poor, and I move to advocate for future generations. I've been educating communities like yours for 20 years about methane because I put together the potential for peace and eliminating pollution, eradicating poverty really early on. And so I feel so deeply moved by these students that were just talked about. The 75,000 people in New York City, what a great demonstration of dire urgency. I also care deeply for veterans and have since I was a student of economics at Rutgers, putting these things together, that we didn't have to have people who were veterans, that we didn't have to have poor. And I still do that today locally. So I really appreciate all you are doing as public servants and how much you all care about all of your residents. As a nearby resident in Manalapan, I really appreciate the cleanup in Manalapan Brook, the prostate cancer awareness proclamation. I just found out someone in my family was diagnosed, as well as suicide prevention awareness. These are all vital to all the communities touched by Spotswood. So what you do in your area really does have ripple effects. Mental health is affected by air pollution and exacerbated by it. So the opportunity for opposing the unnecessary competitive power ventures dirty methane gas plant in the Caseby section of Woodbridge, a very overburdened community already, would be really helpful in terms of demonstrating leadership for your young people and also the young people throughout the entire state. So I would just ask, will you put this on the agenda for your next meeting? And appreciate your time. Thanks.
Thank you.
Charlie, please unmute yourself.
Yes, good evening, Spotswood. Charlie Cradle. I am the Central Jersey organizer at Food and Water Watch. Our New Jersey headquarters is here in downtown New Brunswick, and I've spoken to you a number of times about this same issue that you're hearing from others about. And just wanted to tell you that I was there yesterday in New York, and it was a sight to behold, where we had folks of all walks of life, all ages, coming together in unity against fossil fuels. I tell you, we had folks from all of the faiths. We had folks from labor unions. We had students and young people, and just an amazing group of people that came out and made their voices heard on the eve of a very important United Nations climate summit. So I wanted to take the message to you that there are tens of thousands of us that realize we need to bring an end to burning fossil fuels. And just about the worst and craziest thing we could do is build new fossil fuel infrastructure, new fossil fuel power plants here in densely populated Middlesex County, where the pollution alone, not even talking about the climate pollution, but the nitrogen oxides and the particulate matter, will make it harder for us to breathe. It, in particular, particulate matter, once you breathe it in, it embeds itself deep inside your lungs, and it's with you for the rest of your life. It makes it harder for you to breathe, and you die younger. We cannot allow another fossil fuel power plant. And so we're asking you to take on one small piece of this fight and use your power to pass a resolution opposing this project, like 16 other municipalities have thus far. I know we've spoken a lot about it, and so I did want to request here and now an answer to the question from Rachel at Water Spirit. Will you place this on your agenda at the next meeting? And if not, what can we do to change that and to further this discussion? Because I don't want to just keep saying the same thing over and over again. I'd like to hear from you as to what's going through your head and your action.
Charlie, what I said before, and I will continue to say, we will continue to monitor the situation. We right now are not prepared to have a resolution passed on this, and when we feel that the time is right, we will do so.
I appreciate that, and thank you for responding. I would just ask if you could clue us in at all on what you're thinking in terms of, what's the hesitation? Why, do you need more information? How can we?
As I said before, I'm not going to answer it again. I told you guys before, I appreciate the fact that you guys are passionate about this, but it's not something that we're prepared to do at this time.
Understood. I hear you. I just want to learn more. So if you could we maybe set up a meeting to discuss this, outside of this public setting?
Feel free to send me an email. I believe Holly Cox has emailed me a couple of times already.
Okay, would you be willing to give us that meeting?
Yes, sure.
Great. Okay, we'll follow up, and I thank you for hearing me out.
Thank you. Good, Tim. Thank you. Okay. Back to our public. If anybody has anything, feel free to come on.
Nancy Fridella, 34 Colonial Street. I have brought this to the attention in a meeting before the council regarding the residents with the feral cats and kittens who are now the result of the lack of TNR in our town. Now, as a result of this, residents of Spotswood are reaching out to our bordering towns for help. And you ask why, the answer is the people that are head of the TNR programs reach out to me since they have programs that are working and can assist our town residents with this issue. Few times residents reached out that there were kittens in their yard that they can help, that they have a chance to survive the elements, unlike the adult ones that barely do. The trapper has already caught 6 kittens and 1 adult this year who were TNR'd by the residents out of pocket and are the lucky ones. A rescue has stepped up in another town to take the kittens that we caught and now are going through the process of going for adoption, but they're at full capacity. My thoughts are that this rescue is taking our town's kittens and relying on donations that they are a 501c. Why can't our town donate the funds for the kittens that are taken by this rescue and be compensated for the vetting and supplying that and eventually adopted? I wanted to ask this question too. I know I brought it up at a meeting with you guys. Do we have the figures for the dog licensing that, remember we were discussing, me and Debbie were talking about, that we know the figures yet, or are they going to be available?
Maria, can we get a report from finance to have the final number? Because I know when I asked you before, we were a little behind.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, so I can get that report tomorrow and I can email that to you.
Okay. Okay, that'd be great. Because like I say, right now, we have nothing here. And there's only 2 of us that are taking on all this stuff. And nobody else in the other towns are going to help. But people are reaching out to them because we have nothing here. So we have to do something, because right now we're trying to trap a 5-month-old kitten that's running around through our neighborhood. And there's other cats around here. We're getting a little out. In 9 years, I never saw a cat. I've been seeing plenty now, and now kittens because of the kitten season. Now you got 4-month-old cats around. So if you can, please do something about this situation. Maybe the funds, instead of going for a dog park, maybe allocate it to something like this, or even the Office of Agent, anything, but put the money where it should be allocated for these purposes. That would be great.
I'll speak
So
with
the dog park is capital money, you cannot use it for operating funds. And I think after the last time we met, the major problem is finding a rescue that will partner with Spotswood so that we can direct a PO to them.
Okay, let me ask you this. I know in Sayreville, because I participate with the Western, with the CASA rescue. What they do, the girls and the people, the residents of Sayreville, what they do is they go out trapping, and what they do is they go through PFA and have the feral cats, and then they put them in colonies. But the thing is that they at least have some kind of program going.
As I explained to you, the towns that I've run in Burlington County,
I know
they
that.
partnered with the Friends of Burlington County. The towns then make a donation to the Friends of Burlington County to cover
The
the cost.
expenses.
And then they have the consortium through that.
Mhm.
The biggest issue here is that you need a rescue that will partner with the town so that we can then issue them a PO. We can't issue,
So
anyone
basically,
that does it has to be a vendor. I can't give a reimbursement to a resident
okay,
for running a program. It has to be direct to a vendor that would then do it. So if
Okay.
there's a rescue, that we can then make them as part of
I'm gonna-
our vendors.
I'm trying to get some of that down. Yeah.
That can happen. The only time that I've seen being successfully used is when the Friends of Burlington County, they started their own nonprofit for the entire county.
Right.
The rescue actually is the Burlington County Animal Shelter that has a vet on staff
Right.
and
Oh,
and
that's-
goes through the process. And the town just provides an annual donation to the Friends of Burlington County
Well, that's what we need. We need something going on here because like I say, right now, we're getting overwhelmed with calls and people that are from other towns, they're not gonna come over here and go trap cats or kittens or whatever. I mean, the kittens I could get through a rescue if they're capable of being socialized. But other than that, you're gonna have more coming on because another cat season's coming and you're gonna have more kittens all out there and everything. And you're gonna have neighbors, like I said, residents walking about. There's so many out there running through and you don't even know what they could have too. If they all get sick or anything, they get upper respiratory eye infections, whatever, and God forbid anything else. So hopefully we get something going here.
I'm not familiar with the whole process, so I will speak to the administration a little bit further about it.
Well, we need some, because like I say, there's only me and somebody else, and we're running ragged and everything, and it's like overwhelming, and you need all my, I'll give it to you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Good evening again. Edward J. Smith, 395 Old Stage Road. I'd like to find out what happened with the water bills. Okay, the last pay period. I paid my bill on the 20th of April. Thank God I went on the website to see something. First of all, let me back up the bus. The bill was due on the 25th of April. Okay. Like I said, I paid what was mailed to me on the 20th. Fortunately, I had to go on a website to see something else. I said, let me just see if my taxes got applied. And I see there was a balance, I believe it was $24.50 or $24.90. The change is immaterial. And I called, I wanted to know what happened. I looked at my check, my bill. I thought that, there may have been an input error. Could possibly happen. Okay. And they said, no, there was a mistake made. Okay. And I said, okay, the due date is the 25th. It's now the 23rd. Because I refuse, have to pay interest and penalties because, I mean, if you want to see a sky roof right here, my head will rise to that level. Okay. Right. I come down and I paid that amount that was due on the 24th because I didn't want to get tricked. And I asked, are you going to be hit with a penalty, with an interest charge if it's late? And they said, gee, Ed, we really don't know. Okay. Now, I know they put a new system in years ago because there were several people here in town that were getting water bills for like $4,000 and $5,000. Okay. And they put a new system in and they assured us that this would never happen again. I do know that system works. Okay, because I've come in and previous administrators here in the borough were able to tell me how much water I used in the last hour, yesterday, so on and so forth. So I don't think it's a system problem, but I mean, we were told we were going to get up-to-date billings. I've had elderly people call me and said, what can I do? I got this $4,000 or $5,000 bill. I says, best you can do is work it out with the town. Okay, which I believe at the time that they were assistant users of the utility. Okay, that's fine. But I mean, it's just, I want to know what happened. So
I can speak to it.
Okay. You talked about bill from April, you said?
August.
Yeah, so there, I believe it was cycle 3 that went out. The employee of the borough that does the billing was not in, she was out sick. And they processed the bills through Edmunds, but they only did minimum read. They didn't do anything over. Any overage usage of your minimum water bill was not billed. It was not caught until a resident came in 2 weeks later. That came to my office. Then I went down and spoke to that employee. We did investigate. I think we came up with about 200 of the close to 1,000 or maybe 800 people in the third billing cycle, and then we started reaching out. I instructed them not to charge interest. I think we did an additional 2-week grace period as we were trying to contact people to get them up to speed to know that it wasn't just a minimum read and that the person who ran the bill system that doesn't normally do it did not put additional to the minimum read plus the overage.
Okay, then I'm gonna back up a little bit more. You're right. After I paid the bill, I got something in the mail about the correction. Okay, right? But why do bills go out not reviewed by somebody within the administration?
No towns usually have administrators. It's usually reviewed by the finance department.
Then who's in charge of the finance department? That's the person that's responsible. I mean, if I would have got hit with additional charges, man, I would have been going absolutely ballistic. No one wants to see me go ballistic. Very few people have seen me go ballistic. I don't like myself when I lose it. Okay, and man, I know other people aren't going to like it. But thank you for your response. I appreciate it, Pat. My other question is, I know we received a grant for, I believe, about $2.5 million, thanks to our state senator and state assembly people to clean up the lake. Seems to me like the lake's filling in again. Is it I mean, if I need to go see an eye doctor, that's fine. But I think it's coming closer to the shoreline for an area that was cleared out at one time. What's going on? Are we gonna have to pay for this ourselves, which I know that the town's not gonna pay for? Okay, we only did that work because there was a grant for the $2.5 million. Why do we spend that money if it was totally unsuccessful? I mean, it wasn't that long ago that they dredged that lake.
Specifically, Council President, inner waterways are the subject of county jurisdiction, not municipal jurisdiction. The municipality would not be able to bond money in order to dredge a utility that it doesn't own. It's the same issue that I ran into in Lumberton when the ranking of the street was silting in and we weren't able to bond funds. You have to raise your tax dollars to do it because the rating agency wouldn't allow you to borrow money for it. I can't speak to the grant.
No, right. This was long before you.
But I just authorized a dam inspection report, which also has levels for the lake, and that's being conducted as we speak. So I can review that with them, but then we would have to look at other grants, resources, or the problem is since this is not an inner waterway that's connected to a federal waterway, usually the Army Corps would come in and do a report for you to try and help you get federal funds. But technically under the statute, inner waterways are county jurisdiction, and then we would have to apply.
Right, and I'm well aware of the fact that there's multiple owners of that lake. Okay, but I mean, we exhausted this money, right? That people like to say is a free grant. Well, as a federal taxpayer and a state taxpayer, no, we're paying for it. Okay, so there is no free grant. I've heard for many years from the states. I'm sorry. Okay, about free grants. There's no such animal. Okay, but I mean, how many times are we going to have to go through this to get? I mean, or should we not bother wasting the money? Just let it all grow out.
I can't answer that.
I know you can't answer that. Right.
I mean, we'll have to look further into it and
Right.
see, what the options are. But at this point, I'm sorry, I can't.
Yeah.
I can't give you.
No, I'm just bringing up an observation where we spent $2.5 million.
Yep.
Right, or the state paid spent $2.5 million with something that the problem's right back at us.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Collene Wronko out there. Speaking of the grant, did we ever get the reimbursement for the turtle that Sumco broke?
Sorry for the what?
The turtle that was at the lake. That
Got destroyed by the
contract.
construction crew, and they were supposed to reimburse the town for it.
Did we ever get that? Do we know?
I'm not aware.
Yeah, I'll look into that. I'm not
I
sure.
would appreciate that because it's Sumco and, we were supposed to get a $17,000 reimbursement from them for the busted up turtle because it was from some artist.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, Colleen, I believe that they're withholding the last payment to them.
Unfortunately, from what I understand, we were sued and the payment was made, and we also had to pay their attorney's fees because our attorney never showed up in court and there was a summary judgment awarded. So that's what I understand. So if somebody could look into that and get back to me, I would certainly appreciate it.
Sure.
Thank you. The other thing is that the animal control contract that we just took up with New Brunswick, was this approved by the Board of Health for Middlesex County? Does anybody know?
It was submitted in.
Do you have, could you speak into the mic, please?
From what was referred. What was referred to me by John is that it was submitted to the Middlesex County Health Department, and I believe it was approved.
Do we have
But
something?
I wasn't the person that
Do we have something in writing saying that was approved?
can get that for you.
I would appreciate that. There's quite a few things I've read over the entire contract, and there's quite a few things in here that are illegal. So I don't know how the Middlesex County Health Department would approve this. First of all, it says in here that it does not pick up feral cats. You're legally obligated under state statute, under Title IV, to pick up feral cats. You're legally obligated. Doesn't matter. Somebody calls in and says, listen, I got 5 feral cats on my property. Animal control can't say, I'm not coming to get them. You have to come and get them. You don't know if they're sick. You don't know if they have rabies. I had a feral cat right back there the other day that I called them. So you have to go and get them. You can't turn around and say, I'm not gonna take this up. It says veterinarian services are provided on an as-needed basis during normal business hours. So if a dog gets hit at 2 o'clock in the morning, we don't take it to a vet. It says here that the borough has contracted with Garden State Veterinarian Services in Route 27 in Island to supply veterinarian services. Why are we contracting with an emergency vet doctor? We were contracted with Country Animal Clinic, who charges 1/10 of what Garden State charges. On to the next. Animal control officers shall pick up stray dogs that are restrained. Who's restraining them? Who's restraining the stray dog? Who's got the equipment to do it? Who's got the know-how to do it? Who's going to go after a dog like that husky that bit 2 people on Main Street before I got there? It's interesting. Crickets. Literally, if they go to me. Now, this is the part I like. City shall provide such animal control services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for routine business. Animal control office hours are Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. From 11 p.m. to 7 a.m., they get $85 an hour to come out and pick up a dog. We're getting $1,100 a month. That's 2 plus what I was getting, because I was getting $500 a month. So, and if they go to court, which I had to do twice, they get $100 to show up there. $85 an hour after hours. And that includes Saturday and Sundays, all day Saturdays and Sundays. So if you have 7 calls on a Saturday, we're paying $85 an hour per officer to come out. Did anybody look over this contract before we agreed to this? And let's all face it, anybody that's driven from here to New Brunswick or back knows that on a good day, it's a 40-minute drive. So who's containing the animal that's biting somebody while we have animal control services 40 minutes away? It also says in here, again, they don't pick up feral cats. We're going to test that. Guarantee it. So this contract is illegal. I'm going to make it a point of giving the town 30 days to straighten this out. If not, I'm going to sue for ineffective and insufficient animal control. I'm going to call the state, and every time animal control is not out here, when an animal gets bitten, just like I did with the last one who didn't come out and do any animal control, every Monday I will get the CAD reports. And then I can sit there and I can take my highlighter and highlight everything and then call in the complaints to the state. This is an ineffective animal control contract for this town. I did animal control for 8 months here. We don't get 1 or 2 calls a week. That's a problem. I'd also like to know why the payment for the Oprah attorney for the Oprah lawsuit was submitted to the judge. Town has to pay that. Why are we submitting things to the judge?
What specific Oprah bill are you talking about?
I'm talking about the Oprah bill for our attorney that we sued the town. It was submitted to the judge. Why?
Which bill?
The bill for the attorney for our lawsuit that we filed. How many
For
lawsuits? have we
your
filed?
lawsuit? For your lawsuit?
Correct, for my husband's lawsuit.
And since we just paid for May's bill for legal services, I don't know how this bill was submitted to the judge. So.
It was submitted to the judge
How do you know?
because your attorney told my attorney that.
Yep.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I got the email. Want to say it?
Yeah, you got the email. Come on, Vicky. Now you're just lying.
No, you know what?
No, you are. You're lying.
You're lying.
We have the email. We have the email from the attorney. You did. Again, liar, pants on fire.
We can continue to misrepresent things.
No, I don't misrepresent. Oh, that's funny coming from you. That's fucking brilliant.
I think we should probably control our language.
Brilliant.
Relevant
No,
public New
no,
Jersey.
yeah,
Please,
I don't think we can do that.
are there any other questions? Make a motion to close the public portion.
Second, I want to talk.
We already have a motion and second. You can vote. You can't stop Mr. Wronko when there's a motion and a second on the floor.
Point of privilege.
You don't do that. He does.
Point of privilege.
Council President, you just called for a motion and a second. You got a motion and a second. You have
Point of
to-
privilege.
have to vote.
You have to deal with my point of privilege.
You won't have to yield to your board point of privilege.
Yeah,
Council member,
It's rules of
Robert's rules. Yes,
Correct.
council members can ask questions now of the ruling that has been made. Oh, okay, sure. Council President, you made a motion, you seconded it. You can now do a vote.
point of privilege. Point of privilege. I have a right to speak.
Under Robert's rules,
Point of privilege. You're
can
not dealing
only
with this.
take questions from council members
Point
because
of
you're
privilege.
taking a motion and a second from you.
I'll make a motion to rescind the motion to close.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
How'd that work out for you?
Now you have to deal with my point of privilege.
How'd that work out for
Deal
you?
with the point of
That was
privilege.
correct. And
I
they
think you're an
have-
ass.
Deal with the point of privilege.
There you go.
You opened it up.
Wronko, you can ask your question. You can ask your questions now.
So you're not gonna deal with the point of privilege, which is a violation of the, Robert's rules.
Bring it up.
No, you're not dealing with it, so we're going to.
Okay, so you don't.
Just file a lawsuit.
Mr. Wronko, we just opened it up for you to speak again.
So, I asked for body worn camera video footage from 428 numerous occasions. The Larry Bowen incident. I get emails coming back saying, we have no idea what you're talking about. When am I getting that video? I got the exact date, the exact time period, and I get back a thing saying it's overbroad. Right after I sent that over request, minutes later, I even clarified it. When am I getting that video? Do I have to sue for that too?
So I'm unfamiliar with what it is exactly that you're looking for.
Larry Bowman came in here,
Right.
and you have the mayor saying we can't have a black person walking around the building, and it's on video.
I don't even know how you would know that, Mr. Wronko.
Yeah,
Were
'cause I
you
know.
there? Were you there? Were you there?
Because I know, that's what it led to.
Council President. So we'll go through. July 20th, 2023, Mr. Wronko entered the township building at 2:34 and dropped off an Oprah request. In the Oprah request, it said, I would like a copy of all police reports and body worn camera video footage of all unwanted visitors, homeless, and trespassers from January 1, 2022 to July 21, 2023. Later, at 5:43, he sends an email to the clerk. Wants to clarify, I would like a dupe of all body worn camera video footage, Larry Bowen, in an incident report at the municipal building from January 1, 2020 to July 22nd of 2023. He then was given a request for an extension so that we could figure out what is he asking for. Then he was then given the answer and provided that it was an internal affairs investigation, and there are 5 criteria that the Attorney General has when releasing an attorney affairs subject to an internal affairs obligation. On August 24th, he clarifies himself again and says, I'm seeking the body-worn camera video footage of Larry Bowen at the municipal building. I believe there's only one incident. Captain Mayor, do you know which incident I'm speaking of? I believe my request is 100%
Talking about an employee, you can't do that.
I'm not being critical.
He's talking about an employee. You can't do that. He's talking about an employee.
He's talking about it.
I'm not being critical of him. I'm quoting you, Mr. Wronko.
You cannot do
I'm
that.
quoting Mr. Wronko's Oprah request.
Cannot do
Very
that.
specific video I want.
So I believe that there was only one incident. Captain Mayor, do you know which incident I'm speaking
cannot
about?
do that.
I believe that my request is 100% clear. Captain, if you could have this ready for me, I could pick it up tomorrow when I get there with my other videos that I had to sue about. If I did not receive by tomorrow, there will be another lawsuit on Monday for another body-worn camera video footage. To be clear, I am quoting Mr. Wronko. I'm not being critical of a municipal employee.
Yes, you're.
Then on September 4th, 2023,
All right.
I would like a copy of all body-worn camera footage from the police department for all officers,
Running this meeting.
4/28, on 9:26 a.m. to 2300. Okay. I would like to know, how does Mr. Wronko know all this information that we get 4 different clarifications?
You told me about it.
Already knew.
You told me about it.
Oh, how did I tell you about it? I didn't know about it until you requested it.
And you told me about it.
Oh, okay.
So the point is,
Keep with that
Council
story.
President, we've objected, we have valid defense and objections to this. I have been in communication with, Mr. Ronco's attorney, and I think we're scheduled for a conference call tomorrow. Unfortunately, he couldn't talk with me today, like with his schedule. So I hope to talk to him tomorrow. I will go into more detail. I do not want all this to be revealed publicly because quite honestly, we're talking about information that should not be revealed publicly. But yet somehow, some way, information is out there publicly with the intent to undermine the operations of this borough.
It's public
So,
information.
defend it. We can have a dispute, we'll go to court and pretty confident in it.
I think like last time, right? The one at the Sujo.
Oh, I could have won that too.
Oh, yeah,
I did,
okay.
yeah.
Body-worn cameras
Yeah.
are local. Period, end of story. So, am I getting that video? Because
No,
before it was, we have no idea what it is.
no, Mr. Ronco, Mr. Ronco has already, he's a plaintiff in a lawsuit against you. I instructed
No,
not
no.
the attorney. You just threatened 2 lawsuits.
Okay.
I can sue anytime I want.
It's 2 different things.
It's America.
Council President, I instruct you all not to respond because we have to preserve our defenses in these litigations.
So there is no litigation currently. Am I getting my body-worn cameras, yes or no?
He's not permitted under the Attorney General guidelines. And I can quote the Attorney General guidelines.
Again, he's
but-
interfering with the clerk's office. What's he doing? I
told
sent
you
you that email. He's
to direct our
interfering.
questions to the council
Who's
president.
running who's running the department?
Mr. Wronko, I'm unfamiliar with the information that you were looking for.
I sent it to you.
I know what you, but I've never seen, I've never seen any of the information that you're talking about. I wasn't, first of all, I wasn't on council at the time that, the date that you're asking about. And I don't know what exactly is on the video that you're looking for, the body-worn camera that you're looking for. I have to confer further with our attorney to find out exactly how to move forward on.
Are you denying it?
At this point, I can't give you an answer at all.
I believe the clerk's office already.
Okay.
And I clarified it again today. How many times do I have to clarify it? When Larry Bowen came in here, I want the body-worn cameras. Why can't I get them? So we have, I also requested text messages from the confidential secretary, which have a video of somebody saying that they received text messages from her, that my wife and I were in the building signing some kind of charges, which we weren't. So why haven't I gotten those text messages yet?
Because there were none to be produced. Also,
There was no denial, there was nothing. I didn't get anything.
I will have to, I'm almost positive that one was sent to you.
Nope. And, that person said that they were texted by her. So how is there nothing there? Doesn't make sense. So one person says, hey, they texted me, the confidential, and why would she be contacting anybody that I was in the building? How confidential is that? So I just won my lawsuit against the town. It was settled, so
Settled doesn't mean one.
Oh.
you paid my
No,
attorney, right?
Thomas.
You paid my attorney, right? Okay. Love it. So you haven't sent all the 4 claims to the JIF because I over-requested the JIF. And there's a bunch of them not there. Keep smiling. I over-requested the JIF.
And I don't, but anyway.
How is it they don't have them?
I don't know. I'm not in charge of their files, Mr. Ronco. I'm
So
in charge
you,
of my
so
own.
you guys say you sent them. They don't have them, but you sent them as them that did it. And it's everybody else. No, nothing happens here. And I have the email from my attorney of where you sent the information to the JIF. I have the email. In fact, I'll publish it tonight. So I requested on September 5th, the Subco settlement. Still haven't gotten it. Today's past 2. Where is it? Where are the settlement agreements? So I asked for a copy of all the lawsuits from Sumco. I asked for all settlement agreements and judgments from Sumco. I haven't received them. It's past 2. When am I getting that?
We already went through legal review. I think you have.
You have 7 business days to give me it. Legal review, man on the moon review, whatever you want to do. Where is it? There's no response, there's no nothing.
I don't. They've been handed over, correct?
I don't have them.
I handed them over. They've been subject to review. The settlement is out there. I don't know. It's a stipulation of settlement. They paid the bill.
How can
I
I tell
don't know.
you?
I can't tell you. I don't send it out. I'm not the clerk.
Wow. So, from my understanding, cats are being trapped illegally in town?
I'm sorry.
From my understanding, cats are being trapped illegally in town? Is that my understanding? Because there's an ordinance in town, you can't trap cats. Yet we have a resident saying that they're trapping cats. And they're bringing people here to trap cats.
I believe the ordinance says that they can have colony caretakers.
We have 1 registered colony caretaker. She's not a registered colony caretaker.
No, but I have a kitten in my property that I'm trying to catch.
She just noticed she's breaking the law.
Yeah, well, who's gonna catch it? Who's gonna catch it?
Who's in catch it?
Yeah, who's gonna catch it? We have no TNO, we have nobody to do anything.
Who's gonna catch it?
Don't start with me, buddy.
Who's?
Don't start with me.
Point of order.
I have all the information that you're asking for.
Point of order. You're gonna deal with that? You're not gonna deal with that.
I have all of the information that you have been asking for, and I will look into everything.
So we're illegally trapping cats in town. People are feeding cats. You're not feeding cats that are on your property.
It's on a trap, there's a catch that we have to get.
So somebody's feeding cats. Just go fuck yourself.
Whoa!
Whoa, that's it. This is Village of Congress, New Jersey. I'm allowed to first at a public meeting.
I understand.
Close the meeting.
I will look into the information.
Point of privilege.
Okay?
My time to talk. My time to talk.
I have all of the information.
My time to talk. No, it's not up.
You're the one that, you're the one that stipulated the 5-minute rule. in this
Where's the time?
office, multiple.
Where's the time?
I way past
Show me
5,
what time it is.
way past 5 weeks.
What else do you have finished?
So,
Make a motion to close the public session.
and I'll file a lawsuit tomorrow.
There's other people that want to talk.
Mr. Ronko, go ahead. What else do you have?
So what are we doing with animal control?
We have animal control.
So when are we gonna deal with that? The answer, no, you just failed.
We'll look into it. What do you want me to tell you? I don't know what, we have to talk to animal control to find
They're
out.
saying they have cats and that they're feeding them and they're doing whatever. When are we gonna address that?
We'll speak to animal control this week. Wow. Unreal. Thank you. Then it's yours.
Good evening. Rick Sasso, President of PBA Local 225, speaking on behalf of my membership as an employee of the borough. I have one question. After listening to your comments earlier, are you alluding to the fact that you believe information was leaked through the police department, which are all of my members, in regards to the Oprah request that he had made?
I didn't allude to anything, Mr. Sasso. All I did was read word for word, quoted from Mr. Ronko's request to the borough.
Because it sounded like
You can
you
infer
wanted to.
anything, but I'm reading quote for quote.
I'm not inferring.
What's in an email.
I'm not inferring at all. What was said was that you wanted to know how he could have possibly got this information. So that appears like information had come from my members. That's what I'm trying to clarify.
I don't think I ever said anything other than the fact I'm wondering how he has the information, and I read.
That's exactly my point. So are you alluding to the fact that you believe that information was leaked from the police department? Which includes my members.
I made a comment that wonder where he's getting the information. Don't know where the information is coming from, and I read.
Just making sure that we're not looking at any of my members for something that was already cleared through an internal affairs investigation last year. And we're not rehashing
Confirming
things.
that it wasn't.
Well, I'm confirming that my members were subjected to an internal affairs investigation last year for this exact thing. And I will not have it go through again because we're not going to recognize that it was already cleared. So I just want to make sure we're not putting things out there as if it wasn't already done.
Not my policy to talk about internal affairs publicly. I'm not going to start now. I would prefer no one do that as well.
I just think it to be clear for the record that I read Mr. Ronko's orders. And that was it.
So the mention of Captain Mayo was in
Mr.
Mr. Wronko's email?
Yes. He sent an email.
And he used
Captain Mayo was
ES?
CC,
Okay.
where he reached out to the clerk stating, here's our furtherance of my.
I just want to make sure that the borough is not making claims that have already been investigated and cleared as
Actually,
fact.
by objecting to that Oprah request and refusing to provide it, we are protecting your members. That's my job on the internal affairs side.
I'm not going to talk about anything other than what I had just said.
On that, I just want to be clear to both you as PBA president, your members. It's something that I take. I'm very serious. I may be overly cautious in light of recent changes made that have made it less confidential for police officers. I still advise boroughs. I still advise people who are faced with this in the most conservative way to protect police officers. And I've always done that.
This issue, there's no problem because there was never a problem. So I don't care about any of that.
No, I do when people request through over internal affairs records. I do when people put information that are internal affairs and lawsuits. I have a track record of protecting that from being revealed publicly. And I'm going to continue to do so.
Unless the people involved are the ones requesting it. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Collene Wronko, I'm gonna clear this up once and for all. First of all, nobody from the police department's ever said anything. I got that information about Larry Bowen and I told my husband. You know how I got the information? From Jackie Palmer. She told me. So.
Like your husband just said, I told him. He just
No,
said,
I don't talk to me. I'm begging you, don't talk to me. So that's how the information was acquired originally. Jackie Palmer told me the day after this incident happened in April of last year. Everybody knows about the incident. It's never been kept quiet. The entire town knows about it. So it's not as though this is some big hidden secret that nobody knew about, and all of a sudden now it's coming out. Jackie can't shut up. Blabbermouth.
Make a motion to close the public portion.
All in favor?
Aye. Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.